Hello everyone, this is KenBroTech from KenBroTech and welcome back. So in this section of the video, we are going to look at how we create a post detail page. But before then, I would want us to add an image over here. So this image or this section of the interface is going to contain the image of the author of the post. So clearly this is going to be in the index page. So I'm going to close everything up over here. And I'll go into my templates and come into index. So within the index page, this is where we are supposed to add the image, the source of the image. Remember, I have this image dash thumbnail class over here. So I'm just going to put this over here, and this is actually going to be post dot author dot profile model dot image dot URL. So when I do this and save and come back here to come and refresh, clearly we have these images showing up over here. So this is the image of whoever posted or made this post, and I think he made these two posts, and there's another one over here. So let me log out, and as you can see, I deleted some of the items over there. So let me create a new account. So I have Kenneth, and let me create this. All right, so the account is created. So let me log in as Kenneth, and I'll type in my password. All right, so when we go to the profile, obviously a profile will automatically be created for Kenneth because of the Django signals that we are using. So let me change the image over here, and let me use this image. So I'll save this, and Kenneth has this image. So now let me come here and make a post. So I'll say this is Kenneth's post. All right, now this is a post. Let me say this is my first post on Postcribers. All right, so when I post this, you can see that Ken's image is going to show up over here. All right, so clearly the next thing we are going to do is to look at the post detail page. So currently when I click on this link, it's supposed to lead me to the post detail page. All right, so in order to do that, we are going to create a view or a function within our views.py. So within our block app inside views.py, we are going to create a function over here. So we are going to call this post underscore detail, and post underscore detail is going to take in a request, and we are later on going to modify some few things over here, but then let's keep it this way. And I'll say return render, and the first parameter we pass in here is the request, and the name of the template, which would be a string. So this particular post detail template is going to be inside the block folder within templates. So the proper referencing I should use is block/post underscore detail.html. Then finally, let me pass in a context over here, which I'm going to create. So we are going to have a context dictionary. All right, so let me create the post underscore detail.html template over here. So post underscore detail.html. All right, so this is what we are going to work with. Now, before I proceed, let me also create the route for this, and this is going to lead us to some interesting things. So inside my urls.py, I have a path, and the name of the route is going to be post underscore detail. Like I said, we are not quite done yet. We are going to look at some parameters we are going to add in here, and we are going to access views.post detail, and the name of the route, I'm going to say block dash post dash detail. All right. So like I keep on saying, we are not quite done yet. Now, as far as going into the detail of a particular post is concerned, we have to identify it in a unique way. And the only way, as far as our database structure is concerned, is we can use the primary key. So for instance, if I come in here, and I think first of all I need to log out so that we don't have any integrity error over here. And let me log in as admin. All right, so if I'm to come into for instance, let's say my users. All right, now these 3 registered users over here. Now if I'm to hover my mouse on the name, we can see that at the bottom left corner we can see we have 127.0.1 colon 8000. That's going to be like our route over here, or our link. Then we have /admin/auth/user/7. So this 7 is actually the primary key, so it is unique. Okay, and when we hover around this brony, you can see that this is 8. When you hover around it, this is 9. So normally it is done in a sequential order, and I think I might have deleted some of the things I had in here first. That's why we are starting from 7 over here. So clearly that is what we would want to do. So once again, let me log in over here. Okay, so this is what we want to do. We want to click on this so that it takes us to the detail page. So what I then need to do is I need to pass in the primary key over here. So I'll pass in an extra parameter over here, which is pk. Good. Now I'm creating a variable I'm going to call post, and post is going to be post model. Remember, you already have post model imported over here because we worked with it in the index page. So we are going to say post model dot objects. This is going to be a query set dot get. You want to get a particular item, and you want to get it by the ID. So the ID is going to be equal to this primary key we are passing out over here. All right, so now we can pass in post in our context dictionary. So the key is going to be post, and the value is going to be post as well. So this is okay. Now we need to go back into our urls.py and pass this into our route. So we are going to use the angle bracket, and this is going to be an integer. Okay, so int pk, and I would also need to end it like this. All right, so just about this is going to make it work. And finally, we need to come back into index.html, and this is actually the link, okay, the title of the post that should link to wherever I want to go into the detail. So I'm going to put out the template tag for URL over here, and inside this I'm going to give out the blog dash I think post dash detail. That's the name of the route we specified over here. Okay, blog dash post dash detail. Good, that's exactly what we have over here, but we need to also add the ID as well. So I'll do post dot ID. So when I save this and I come back here to come and refresh and click on this, you can see that the route over here changes. Okay, we can see that we have something /detail/16 over here. So we need to build that template out, and I'm just going to copy everything we have in index.html. So I'll do a Ctrl+C, and I'll bring it here, and I'll clear things up over here. Like, I don't need this session, so basically I'm going to clear everything over here, and I wouldn't be using any form, so I'll also clear this over here. All right, so basically this is what we have, but I would want to have core MD8, and I'll do an offset of MD2. All right, so I'll save this, and when I refresh and come back over here, now we have this built out for us. Okay, so let me see. So let me have the card body over here. I think the card body is missing. All right, so when I save this, now we can bring in the things we want to bring over here. So we are going to have a row, and I'm going to have core MD, core MD4, and this is going to be, I'm going to put an image over here, and the alt is going to be profile image. Then I'll come in here and do core MD. This time around, I'll do MD8 to take the rest of the session over there. Then right over here, I can put out my date. So I'll do post dot date created. So post dot date created. And remember, this is let me show you. Inside our views, you see we are grabbing this variable post over here is grabbing a particular object by the ID. Okay, that's going to grab a particular object, and we are passing it in our context dictionary, so we can have access to post within post detail.html, and that's exactly what we have over here. So we want to grab the date created over here, and actually let's put this in a small tag. So I'll cut this and put out a small tag over here, and I think I'll put out an HR for a horizontal rule over here. Now I can come and have a look at it. All right, so this is exactly what I want, and I'm going to have the details showing up over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out an h4 tag, and within the h4 tag you are going to have the post.title. So you're going to have the title over here, and I'd want to have the content over here as well. So I'm going to say post.content. All right, so this is going to work. And actually, once again, let me reiterate. You see, we are grabbing this everything from the post model. Okay, and within our posts or within our models, we have this title over here, we have content over here, we have date created. So that's the kind of way we are grabbing data and rendering it over here. So when I save this and come back here to come and refresh, we have this showing up over here. Now the next thing I want to show is the delete and edit buttons we displayed over there. So that's certainly going to also be in a small tag. So let me put out a span tag over here and an anchor tag, and inside of this I'll say edit. Then I'll create, or I'll make this look like a button. So I'll do btn, and I'll do, for edit I'm going to do primary, and I'll do btn-sm. all right, so there's the edit, and I'm going to copy this. So I'll do a shift alt and a down arrow key, and I'll change the text over here to delete, and I'll change the primary color to danger over here. So I'll save this, and if I'm to come here to come and refresh, now you have this showing up over here. I want to float these ones to the left, or sorry, to the right. So what I then need to do is I can add a float dash right class over here, and I'll do same over here, float dash right, and I think this is going to work to a point. All right, I want the delete to be here, so I just have to change the order. So I'll cut this and I'll put it right over here. All right, so this is going to work right the way I wanted it, but I want to give some spacing over here. So I'm going to put out a margin there. So over here I'm going to do mx. I'll do mx2, so margin to the left and right too. So when I refresh, now you have this over here. Good. So now we are going to work with the edit and the delete functionality, and quickly we are going to go into our views.py and we are going to create a view over here. So we are going to have the function, and I'll call this post edit. And this is going to take in a request. And also we are editing a particular post. So over here too, I'm going to put out the primary key over here. And I'm going to return render, and I'll pass in the requests, and the name of the template is going to be in our block folder, and the name of the template is going to be post underscore edit.html, and I'll pass in a context over here, and I'll make sure I have it here as well. All right, so once again, I would want us to grab the post. So I'm going to do post is equal to post model dot objects dot get. We want to get by the ID, which is going to be equal to the primary key we are passing over here. All right, so this is pretty much the same as far as the post detail is concerned, but then we are going to add a little bit of functionality over here. So once again, let me put out in our context. All right, so this is going to be it for now, and what we need to do over here is to create a URL. So clearly our URL is going to look like our post detail page. So I'm going to do a shift alt and a down arrow key to duplicate this, and I'm just going to change this to edit, and I'll change the name of the view to edit as well, and over here to I'll do edit. All right, so I think we are in business. Last but not the least, I need to create the HTML template over here. So I'm going to create post underscore edit.html. All right. So in order to work things out, let me just come in here, the post detail page, and just come and grab. I'll do a Control C over here, and come and paste this over here. But before I proceed, I think there was one thing I missed out over here. So inside the post detail page, once again, let me do post detail page over here. All right, so that's with the title. Now let's come back here and change this to post edit page. All right, so we need to change some few things over here, and over here we are going to render a form. So we shouldn't be having we shouldn't be having this over here. I think we can do away with this. All right, so now that we have this, we can actually go into the post detail page. Okay, and where we have our buttons. Okay, this is where we have our links. Okay, so we can have, so far we are creating the edit, so let's put out the route over here. So I can do this and put out a URL, and I'm going to do posts dash, I think is blog dash post dash edit. All right, let me check this over here. We have the URL over here, so it's blog dash post dash edit. All right, so we can certainly do that, and we have to definitely call the ID as well. So I'll do post.id, and this is going to make this work. All right, so when I click on edit, I have this over here, and we can see within our route that we have post underscore edit. So this is where we are going to put in the form. So first off, let me close these ones up over here. So we are going to go into our forms.py over here within our block app, and we are going to create in a new form. Now this form is going to be I'm going to call a class, and I'm going to call this post update form. So post update form is going to inherit from forms dot model form, and we are going to specify a class meta over here, and we need to first of all describe the model we want to create this for, and the model is definitely going to be the post model. Then we need the fields over here, and the fields are also going to be the title and the content. All right, so this is exactly what we are going to use. So we have the post update form. Now let's come into views.py, and we are running this import over here. So we are saying that from the current forms import post model form. Now I want to import the post update form, and it is within this post update form that we are going to put inside the post edit view so that we can have access to it over here. So as we've been doing in the part, let me just jump straight in. So you're going to say if request dot method is equal to post like this, then our form is going to be equal to post update form, and we are going to grab the request dot post. All right, else all that we want is the form showing up over here, and that's the post model or the post update form, sorry. All right, so I can pass in form over here into my context dictionary, and we are in business. Okay, so what we can do is to actually come into the views. I mean, let's visualize things over here. We can come into our views, our templates, go into block, and inside the block edits right over here we can put out our form tag, and we are going to use a method of posts like this. And first of all, let's pass a CSRF token, and let's pass in the form over here. So the form, and right away let me start things up over here. So we are going to use the crispy forms, and let's have a button. So let's use the input of type submit, and I'm going to say save, and let me add some bootstrap classes over here. So I'll do a class of btn dash primary, and I'll do btn dash sm. So I'll save this, and if I'm to come back here to come and refresh, we have this form showing up over here. All right, so clearly we see that something is showing up over here. I don't know why, but let's see. I think this is the CSRF token. I don't know why it is displaying over the CSRF. Oh, okay. So as you can see, we are passing this CSRF token like some kind of data, and that's why it is displaying over here. But under normal circumstance, this is supposed to be in a template tag like this. All right, so this is supposed to be in a template tag like this, so that we don't see it displaying over here. So when I refresh, clearly this is gone. All right, so let's finish up with the logic over here. So after displaying the form, I'm going to say if form dot is valid. We are calling the dot is valid method over here. We've seen this in our previous videos. We are going to say form dot save. So form dot save is going to be this method we are running on the form, and we want to return a redirect. And for the redirect, the question here is, where do we want to go? Now, if indeed we want to edit, okay, let me see this. If we want to edit, immediately we edit, we want to go back to the post detail page. Okay, so what I'm going to do is return redirects. We definitely want to go into the blog dash post dash detail, the post detail page. Now this is not going to work quite yet, but I want us to see the error we get and how we fix it. So when I refresh, let's try and do something over here. Okay, so there's one thing I just realized. Now, remember, we saw this when we were dealing with the profile. Okay, when you click on the edits, it needs to be pre-filled. Okay, so we clearly have to define an instance in there, and the instance is actually going to be the post. So over here, I'm going to say instance is going to be equal to posts, and I'm going to put instance over here as well. Instance is equal to post. All right, so I'll save this, and when I come back to come and refresh and click on this and click on edit, we have it pre-filled over here. So now let's change this to, let's say, let me change this to Kenneth. Okay, so Kenneth post for all. All right, so let me click on save. And you can see that reverse for block post detail with no arguments. Okay, not found. One pattern. So it was looking for a primary key and it is not finding the primary key. Remember, we want to return to the post detail page of a particular post. So in order to sort this out, all that we need to do is to pass in the primary key in here as well. All right, so I'm going to say pk is now going to be equal to posts.id. All right, so we seem to have a problem over here, but that's not a problem at all. I think I forgot to bring the comma over here. So when I save this and we come back here. All right, so now let's save this actually. So let's come back to post. This is Ken post for all to read. And when I click on save, now you can see that it has been edited. This is Ken's post for all to read. If you have to come back here, you see this is Ken's post for all to read and everything showing up over here. Now let's go back to edit and let's say this is Ken's post. Okay. And this is the first post on Postcribers. And this is for all to read. And when I click on save, you can see that the change has taken effect. Now let's put out the image over here. And that's very simple to do. Inside our post edits page. No, that's going to be the post detail page. So this is where we have to put the image. And this is actually going to be our posts dot author dot profile model dot image dot URL. All right, so when I save this, first off, let me put out the class over here. So I'll do img thumbnail. All right, so when I come back to come and refresh, you can see we have this image showing up over here. And when we go back, we can also see the things we want to see. Now there's one drastic change I'll be making very soon, but for now let's look at the delete functionality as well. So now we can delete, we can edit a post. Now let's look at the delete functionality. All right, so let's come in here into our views.py and create a delete view over here. So I'll do post delete, and this is going to take in a request. And also we are going to pass in the primary key because we want to delete a particular post. And for now, let's return render, and we'll pass in the request over here, and the name of the template is going to be inside blog / post underscore delete.html. So I'll save this, and I'll need to come and create the URL route over here. So I'll go into urls.py. And once again, this is almost going to take this form. So I'm just going to do a shift alt down arrow key to duplicate this, and I'll change this to delete, and I'll change the name of the view we want to call to delete, and finally I'll change this to delete as well. So I have this working out for me. Now I need to come here and come and create the templates. So I'll click on this and I'll do post underscore delete .html. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab let's say the post detail page, and yeah, I'll do a Control A and Control C to copy everything and paste it over here, and do some changes here. So over here I don't need this because I'm not going to render this, and I also don't need this image over here. So basically I'll just have to take everything off over here, and yeah. All right, so this is just going to be what I need, and let me go back to the post detail page, because that's where I have the delete button over here, and I'd want to go into it and put out the URL over here, and I'm going to do blog dash post dash detail, sorry, delete. So I'd also need to pass in the post.id over here. All right, so I think this will be okay for now, but let's try it out and see. Okay, so let's come in here and let's try deleting. So we have this route working for us. All right, so let's come over here. So the post delete page, and let's put out the bootstrap alert class over here. So I have alert, and I'll do danger, and inside this I'm going to say do you want to delete posts? And we are going to have two options over here, and it's going to be in the form, okay, because we are causing an action inside our database. So within this form, once again, let's put out our template tag over here and put out our CSRF underscore token, and let me just put out the inputs of type submit over here, and this is going to be confirm, and let me put out a bootstrap class over here. So btn dash primary btn dash sm, and let me also put out another one over here, and let me just do a link tag over here, and for this link tag I'm going to say cancel, and cancel is going to have a bootstrap class of btn dash secondary, and I'll do btn dash sm like this. So if I come back here to come and refresh, this is what I need. Now when I click on this, I want to go back to the page, and when I click on this, it will surely delete. All right, so what I'm going to do is, as far as this route is concerned, let me show you. I'm going to come in here and I'll do a URL, and inside this I'm going to do blog dash post dash detail, okay, and I would want to go back to the posts or that particular post, so post.id. So for such reason I need to come into my views.py and come and grab that post. So I need to get that particular query set over here. So I'll do post model dot object dot get, and I want to get the ID, which is going to be equal to the primary key. All right, so let me put this out in a context dictionary, and let me just do context, and the key is going to be post and the value is going to be post. And let me pass in the context over here. All right, so in order for this delete to work, this is going to be very simple. I'm going to say if request dot method is equal to post, then I'm going to say post dot delete. Okay, we are going to call the delete method over here. Then I'll return redirect. I'll return redirect, and I would also want to go back to the block dash post dash detail, and I would also want to get the primary key. Okay, so the pk is going to be equal to the post.id, like this. All right, so this is basically saying that if the request, okay, that we are making is being run through a post method, then we want to delete it. Okay, this is a method we are calling on that particular post, and we want to return redirect to, no, we can't return and redirect to the detail because by then it will be deleted already. Okay, so we want to return, or we definitely have to return to the index page, because if it is deleted, there's not going to be a detail page for us to see. All right, so let me save this. Okay, and if I cancel, we can see that we are back here. If I say delete, if I cancel, we are back here. Now when I do delete, and first of all, let's check this out. So this Ken's post, okay, when I do delete and press confirm, it gets deleted and we are back onto the index page. That's what we want. Now surprisingly, let's check this out over here. So this admin, okay, this admin, and this post was not made by admin, because clearly this profile image, this is admin, because admin has this default image showing up over here. Now this post was made by maybe someone else, but admin can come in here and come and edit to, let's say, meeting 1. Save this, and I mean, it is not a good design. Okay, we want to make sure that it is only the person who made the post has that authority to make any change or delete. All right, so in order to work our way around it, remember this is admin's post. Okay, so admin should be able to see these buttons and delete, but admin should not be able to come in here and come and delete like we just did. So in order to work our way around it, we just have to go into the post detail page, because that's where we have those buttons. And just before we render those buttons, we are going to put in some logic over there. So these are the buttons, and I'm going to say, so you're going to put out the template tag over here. So I'm going to say if post dot author, if post dot author dot user is equal to request dot user, and I'm going to end if over here. So I'll do end if. All right, so now let's test this out and see what happens. So when I refresh, okay, now remember this post was not made by admin. So when I click over here, we see that we don't see those buttons displaying over here. Now when I click over here, we also don't see this. So let me create a new post over here. I think I might have mixed these ones out as well. So let's say fourth post, and let me call this is the fourth post. All right, so let me post this. So admin has made this post. Now when admin clicks here, admin is supposed to see the buttons over here. So I think we are missing something. And all right, so I think what we are missing is we are supposed to just do if post.author is equal to request.user. And basically this is the logic behind this. The request.user is going to be the logged in user, and the post.author is going to be whoever authored that post. So if we are to come into our views.py, you can see that whenever or when we were creating the post, okay, we said that this instance dot author should be equal to the request dot user, and by request dot user we are referring to the logged in user. So we are actually doing that over. So now when I save this and come back here to come and refresh, now when I click on this, you can see that we have these buttons showing up over here because this is the author of this post. So the author of this post can now come and edit and delete as well. Now when I come into this particular page, we can see that we don't see the button over here because the author of this post is not the current logged in user. All right, so clearly this is what we would want to achieve, and I think with this as well, this is the author of the post. Okay, so we can delete this post, confirm it will be deleted. Okay, and we can actually also delete or edit this post. So I'll say new post over here, and when I save this, we have new post showing up over here. All right, so this is going to be the end of this video. If you find this tutorial very interesting, there are a couple of ways you can help me grow my channel. Kindly subscribe to KenBroTech and don't forget to hit on the notification button so that anytime I release a video, you'll be duly notified. Also, share this video with friends and family who find this content very useful. At KenBroTech, we say learn programming. You can do it. Also, don't forget to pass out any comments or ask any questions if you do have one. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.